guys, we're here with our second part of our side control escape. Make sure that if you haven't seen our first part, you check it out on the videos. You can see how we worked for the little shrimp motion, the forward shrimp, getting space and getting a guard back. Today we're going to be looking at something slightly different, a different take on the side control escape. One that Marcelo used very well throughout his career and still uses it in his academy. But it's a nice little option for you and give you some options. I'm not going to fully go into them all, we can explore that in a later video, but this will give you some options to think about when escaping the side control in this manner. Right then, so we're going to look at the side control here. Back bit. So, again we're in this situation. If our arms are out, we need to be making sure that we get them in. This is vital to get the arms in for this type of escape. If your arm is out here and it's locked out, you may want to consider using the pushing on the hip and get the shrimp going. For this one, we want to look at actually, rather than turning into our partner, we're going to look to turn away, which is a little bit taboo in some schools because they could think, well, why do I want to turn and give him my back? Well, you'll see in a second. So, first thing I want to make sure we're doing is I want to be on the inside. So if my partner brings his weight up a slight, please. I want to be on the inside from this bottom position. Whereas previous videos we looked at getting this after the shrimp. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand on the shoulder and keep my elbow tight. Okay, what I'm looking to do here is I want to do a little bit of a bridge and a little shook. So I use my shoulder and I shook and I bridge and I create a little bit of a space to bring this arm through. Now when this arm comes through, make sure you bring it through as a fist. Okay, if it gets caught like this and he starts to put the weight down, I could actually hurt my fingers on my own chin and damage them. Okay, whilst not a legit submission, it's definitely going to hurt me. So, come through and make a fist. Can you see how here I've kind of got like I don't know, like a karate kind of pose with two chops here. I want to go palm to palm and make this strong. So if my partner wants to put some weight into my jaw, go on. Can't really do it, and if he does, he's essentially pushing into my chest now. So I've created a strong frame. So if you've got those big guys in the gym who crush you, just do this. And then you can tell them what you want, and they can't do anything because you've got these in your chest. Make sure you've got a good core as well, so you don't lose all your air. But from here you can see these palms, I can start to sit and push them away. Two hands are stronger than one shoulder. Okay, they might have a really strong grip with their hands, let's say, but at the very least it's gonna, you see what I mean? Like just a little sit and a push is gonna create some options. So, once I've got to this space here, we're gonna have a few different things to look at, so bear with me on this, guys, right? The first one will depend on what our partner wants to do, okay? I'll show you a good one that's going to work with the head in this position, and I'll show you one afterwards which I really like, and it's a little bit unconventional, but it makes sense in my world anyway. So from here, I want to start to sit up and push, and once I've got my partner moving, I want to start to bring this arm through. And eventually he's going to want to put the weight back down onto me, but I want to try and get my elbow out. So it's like my elbow feels like it's being crushed against my chest, but that's fine for now. So if he starts to put the weight into me, I've got this, see what I'm doing here? I'm consolidating my forearm and I'm pushing it into my partner's head. At the same time, I want to bring my head to the mat. So I don't want to bring my head up with my arms, because then if he wants to grab his hands together and cradle me, he kind of cradles me into this kind of awkward position. So when I come up, I put my head back to the mat and I push these into his ear or into his neck. So it just creates that space, that breathing room. And yes, I know they're going to be putting pressure on, but you've got a good frame here. So this is the good bit. So with my right hand, I want to make kind of like a gooseneck. You can even grab his head, pat them on the head, you can grab the gi, whatever. But I want to make like a gooseneck here. Now, from this position, I'm going to move my hips out slightly again. So this is going to be one big motion, so you're going to have to practice your Turkish get-ups if you do them at home or you do them in the gym or wherever you do them, your lunch break. I want to use this motion. I'm going to bring my knees and my body to me in a rocking effect. So I pull them in, so the momentum shifts over. Once I've kicked my legs up, I'm going to stamp down. I'm going to sit up, push the head away, bring my arm back like I'm doing a Turkish get-up. Okay? You have to slap the mat when you do it. This makes sense. I've got this here in his neck, and I've got that like gooseneck. Yeah? So it controls him there. So if he wants to sit back into me, they're gonna grab around the waist, but that's fine. Look what I'm doing with the head. I'm pushing the head down, and I've got this base behind me. So if he wants to drive into me now, he's gonna have to drive through my arm. It's just not gonna happen. So from this scenario here, I want you to pay attention to my legs. They're wide apart. If I sit up with my legs here, he just grabs around my legs, lifts them to the ceiling, dumps me on my back, and we're back again. We're having to fight for this position. So when I sit up, I want to spread my legs nice and wide and bring this knee up. So now from this position, I'm going to bring my heels back, and I'm essentially going to scoop my bum out. I'm going to try to face him. At this point here, you can also like grab the gi, push this down, make it very uncomfortable. Thumb in there is a great option. You can push down. I'm going to use this one. Look what my foot does here. My foot's going to come on the inside here and step on the inside. I'm then going to use this. Again, if he wants to drive into me, please do. My hand's there. He has to get rid of this arm to get me on my back. He's not going to do it. Shrimp one, shrimp two. We have a messy escape, but we're in an escape position. We're back in some form of guard. So, oh, I'm in tight. I don't like this. Create the frame. Little bridge and a shook. Get the arm on the inside. Make fist. So hand came all the way through. I touch my temple, make fist. It's a good reference point. Palm to palm. My partner puts pressure. He attempts to put pressure. It's not hurting me because I've got a strong grip. That on my chin is not going to be fun, so I've got this here. So now what I want to do is I want to sit up a little bit, push, get this arm through. Notice how my head comes back. Comes back, so I don't want him to crush me. I've got this head here. I can consolidate here. So you see how I'm pushing. A lot of times they'll turn into the Keskatami position, but we'll address that at a later date. But if he does, we're in position to escape there as well. So it's not a problem. So from here, consolidate. Okay, he's gonna again put the weight down. So I've got that. See how actually I'm putting it into his jaw, it's a little bit uncomfortable. From here, I'm gonna move my hips out so they're a bit more 90 degrees. I'm gonna kick my legs up, and as I do, I'm gonna kick, I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna push his head down, I'm gonna put that out. So important that I get this base, guys. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sit up and he's gonna push me back. So this base is important. And this move, whilst it looks quite explosive, and it is, I want to time it. So when I feel like a little bit of pressure coming off, sit up, explode, and get out to here. At this point, again with the gooseneck, a lot of times you'll like get the gi will all roll up. You can put your thumb in the back here, grab the lapel, and stuff the lapel down. And see how the elbow still drops on the inside. So if he wants to try and bring his head towards my chest, I can basically keep him at arm's length. Knees come up, shrimp, shrimp. That's going to be a bit of a scramble, but eventually I'm looking to get my leg on the inside. 1, 2, 3, open guard, and all that kind of position. So very quickly I'm just going to look at an alternative version that I like to do. And it's from this same scenario, but rather than going into the head, what I do is watch my body. I forward shrimp into him, so I stick my bum into his hip. Now with this arm, I put this under and I try to capture this arm. So again, my head goes back and I want to look, especially with this arm, like doing all kinds of stuff, I want to look to capture this arm. I might even go here initially, but I want to capture this arm. And it's quite easy actually when I come through because I can get onto the arm here, and there's some other alternative options we have. But a lot of times they'll maybe kind of bring this arm back and they try and grab something, or they want to do anything here, and I can use this to grab the arm there. So as at this wrist here, again, I bring the elbow now onto the chest and keep the arm. See how I'm keeping that arm away from his so he doesn't have that control. If he has that initial control, I might have to do something a little bit different. I might have to do the first one. But here, if the arms aren't connected, and I do exactly the same thing. I kick up my leg, my right leg this time because I'm facing towards you guys. And I push this down to the mat and sit up. I know what you're going to say. He's going to reach over and he's going to choke me. No, even if he has that, I just turn. Because the fact that he can't get his hands together, I know we can start looking for that collar, but it's not the worst case scenario. Another thing I could do, is kick this out and turn through. So now I'm avoiding the collar choke and avoiding the rear naked choke. So we can see here by getting his hand and coming up, and you think, oh, okay, well maybe he's going to reach over, try to grab my wrist and pull my wrist away. Can you see how it enables me to kind of run and escape? And certainly some other options, if I get pulled down, I can kick over, I can go straight into the turtle, grab his wrist, look at my leg coming up, and start to face him. So, a couple of concepts there we're looking at. Without going into too much detail into the actual techniques of how and what, you can see how on those occasions we've used actually turning our backs to our partner, sitting up, either coming in or coming away. It's very important with that last one especially that if I am going to turn my back to my partner, I want to make sure that his wrist is away. I don't just want to turn away without controlling, keeping the wrist away, and in the first instance using that sit-up. So, really nice way of getting out of it, a little bit different to maybe what you're used to, but certainly that's a great option, especially if you can't get the bridge going. If that crossface is really tough and you can never turn in, we can start to sort of turn away with that and get out in that option. So, hope this mini-series has helped you a little bit. If you have any questions or comments, don't forget, drop us a message, leave a comment below. We'll try and answer it, or certainly we can look to do more videos for you in the future. But thank you very much, hope you really enjoyed it. We'll see you soon.